How are you holding yourself accountable? I am praying that I actually am recording because I talked to myself for about 20 minutes thinking this was recording. Anyways, hello. Today we're going over the act of being accountable and what tools you can use to hold yourself accountable. We need to lock in, so what better time than now? One of the things about growing up is nobody is telling you that you have to do anything, which is kind of hard because I know post grad and being a college athlete, you got given a schedule and clothes to wear, and you had to follow everything in that order. And then you would throw in like school or socializing. Like you had to figure out that part, but for the most part, everything was kind of handed to you. As a grown adult, I had to realize, oh, nobody is telling me to go to the gym. Nobody is telling me to eat good. Nobody was telling me to like do extra work on the side, meaning like self-development and stuff like that. So we're going to dive into ways that you can become more disciplined and more accountable to yourself. Starting with number 1, using a habit tracker. This is my holy grail. I've been doing this for a few years now, and it has helped me so much. I'm somebody who needs to be checking boxes, and as somebody who has ADHD, it has helped me a ton. I think maybe it's the part that I make this handmade every month, but I also think that it's helped me just visualize what I'm supposed to be doing. I track on here my lift, cardio, meditation, reading, journaling, and then sleeping more than 6 hours a night. These are kind of interchangeable. I'd say I keep lift, cardio, and reading on here, but sometimes the other ones switch up if I feel like I'm doing well enough. If you're not a paper person and you like to use your phone or an iPad, whatever you use, I'd say there's a ton of apps that are for productivity or just kind of like tracking what you're doing. So if you have a list of goals, I'd say try to put them in this app, or Google Sheets is another good one. I like to use habit trackers just because I like to be accountable for myself. I don't really need people telling me what to do. So if I could do this by myself, guess what? I'm going to do it. That's the first kind of hack. Number 2 is get an accountability buddy. I won't say I came up with that term. It was a coworker of mine, but basically having a group of people, maybe one other person that can hold you accountable for your, words. I like to say multiple times a day that I'm blessed to have a wonderful mentor, or a few actually. But I have people that I look up to, and I'll tell them what I'm working on so that they can help me as well. The key with this is finding a group of people who will actually hold you accountable and actually want what's best for you. I meet with my accountability group once a month that I met through Author My Life, and we just talk about our goals, what we're working on, and then we also share some advice to each other because maybe some of us are better at something than the other person, and we want to help each other. There is no competition, it's purely just to make sure that we're becoming the best versions of ourselves. You want people that will cheer you on, but also people who are gonna hold you accountable. These aren't people that are saying, okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Keep sliding through. No, you want people to hold you to your word. So that's my biggest take on finding an accountability buddy, is if you do need one, find someone who will actually hold you accountable, not somebody that will let things slide. Third way is public announcement. I know it's preached everywhere, like don't share your goals with the world, whatever. But I think if you're going to post about it in social media, I think you should be able to share with other people what you're working on. It doesn't have to be a group of random people or people that you hate. It can be people that you love and you're like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I know it worked for me because I did 75 hard and I was telling a bunch of people, because I would still go to the bars and like that was where people were hanging out. So I was like, well, my friends invited me. I'm going to still go because I know I can say no to alcohol. And it was easy because then I could be like, oh, well, I'm doing 75 hard. These people that I just started talking to, guess what? Now they're going to hold me accountable, start asking me questions about how it's going. What day are you on? It's like a natural default. I did the same when I signed up for the half marathon. I wasn't going to tell everybody I'm doing a half marathon and not do it. Like that, it feels like a promise almost. Plus, what's the point in saying that and then not getting a medal at the end? What the gist is that you can share what your maybe minor goal is. I'd say if it's something that you're going to post, then go ahead and share it. If it's something that you're holding, like like close to you, maybe you shouldn't. I know personal goals, I don't really share that with people because they're personal, they're my own goal. The most I'll share it with are like close friends or maybe my sister, parents, whatever. Like, I want to hold some of these goals to myself. Why would I share everything with the world? Walk the talk is the biggest point here. If you're going to continue telling people what you're going to do, guess what? Now you have to do it. And number 4, SMART goals. Do we remember doing them when we were like in elementary school and it was like maybe math related or something? Maybe you wanted a good grade. Well, guess what? They're so back. For a refresher, SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. A smart way to make a goal is using the SMART method. I had to be a little corny there, but basically, you want to use that as your framework because if you're paying that much attention to what your goal is, that's going to make it more of like an emotional thing that you're like, okay, I've worked this hard on making this goal super granular that like I need to attain it at this point. My first example would be to go to the gym every day. Somebody says, oh, I'm going to go to the gym every day. And you're just starting at the gym. Take it from the top, specific, what time of day? What are you trying to hit at the gym? What kind of workouts do you actually like to do? Then we'll go to measurable. Do you have a kind of tracker? I love to use the lifting tracker. I also have my lifting notebook that I track the weights that I'm using. Maybe you're texting a group chat like, hey, I'm going to the gym today. Something of that sort. Number 3, attainable. I would argue no. Anybody who's starting at the gym should start like 2 days a week. If you can do that for a month, let's amp it up to 3 days a week. You're not trying to burn yourself out. There's no point in burning yourself out and trying to rush everything. It's kind of like New Year's resolutions is the first place I think of. People set those and then they don't touch those. Like, if this just reminded you that you had resolutions, go ahead and check them. How are they doing? So start with 2 days a week at the gym. Realistic. Yeah, we just clocked it. It literally was not realistic from the start. Be more real with yourself. That is the hardest thing to accept. But truly, if I told myself, like, hey, I'm going to start eating 1,000 calories a day, guess what? That's not realistic because I love to eat. It's not mean, it's honest. Sue me. Last point, timely. How long are you going to be going to the gym? Is it only going to last 2 weeks or is it going to be lasting the rest of your life? My personal split, I go lift 4 days a week and then I do cardio about every day. I don't do crazy cardio. I just like walk or sometimes I'll run if it's not on a lifting day. I've stuck with that for about 2 years, give or take. I think I created more of a realistic kind of workout because I used to lift every day and then my shoulders started acting up. So we don't do that anymore. That's a run through example, but go through your goals and see if they're actually all of the above of SMART goals. Now, the overall kind of summary here is you are a grown adult. Let's hold ourselves accountable. There will be things that will help if you had another person, for sure. But I think for the most part, if you are an adult, you have been given this awesome freedom to do whatever you want. Guess what? You also have to hold yourself accountable to the next level. You are in control of most of the things in your life, and if it's not a controllable thing that someone else is doing, then you're in control of your actions and how you react to things. This is the year of holding yourself accountable because you can tell when someone hasn't been held accountable for their whole entire life. There's this weird energy of like expectations, and it's kind of embarrassing, honestly, because my take, you should have been held accountable a long time ago. But I'm also somebody who's hyper accountable and takes accountability for other people's actions, which we're not doing that anymore as much. But still, like, I would say I'm still working on that. But I've rarely met people like me where they're actually taking accountability for what they've done, whether it's good or bad. I'm not saying I'm rare at all, but I am saying that the value of accountability has gone down, I feel like, for the past few years. So let's bring that back up so that we can actually attain something. With that being said, choose a tool that you like and let's be accountable for what we're up to. Peace and love.